On the slate for today's Philadelphia Eagles now, 10 things I think at this portion of the preseason. We'll also be taking your questions because it's game day between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. Make sure you subscribe to the show, turn on your notifications because preseason week 2 is here and we're back for another watch party. Kickoff set for 7:30 p.m. Eastern for some Thursday night football at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philadelphia. Eagles fans getting an opportunity to take a look at the Birds, the defending NFC champs, for the first time at home. So with that, your predictions for Thursday night football. Who are you going with? Will the Eagles even up that preseason record at 1-1, or will they drop to 0-2? Are you going with the Browns? Are you going with the Birds? Let us know right now down in the comment section. First thing I think Tanner McKee already might be better than Marcus Mariota. I think that McKee is a better thrower of the football. I like his stature as a quarterback. He can layer throws in there from what I've seen to that second and third level and throw a touchdown field. I like his long ball. That's an area in which Marcus Mariota struggles with and has struggled with for a little while. Tanner McKee doesn't have the escapability of Mariota, doesn't have the running ability of Mariota, probably can't run the RPO as effective as Mariota. But in this league, I'm a believer that you win in throwing the football. And that's why Philadelphia was so good last year, because Jalen Hurts made that massive leap. Number 2, I think that Jalen Carter soon, at some point this season, could unseat Jordan Davis and start next to Fletcher Cox. That's how good I think that Jalen Carter could be. And I think that Jordan Davis can be a really good player in this league, but at 6'6", 330 pounds, is he going to be able to be a three-down player? Or is he going to be a specialty type of player when you need him to push the pocket, demand a double team, be stout against the run? That's when Davis can help you. But for Jalen Carter, I think that he's more versatile, and I think he could be a little bit more dominant against the pass, more important than the run, and the run as well. Number 3, I think Sidney Brown could start alongside Reed Blankenship. Through Tuesday's practice, Philadelphia has experimented with 4 different players starting at safety next to Reed Blankenship. Justin Evans, Terrell Edmonds, Kayvon Wallace, and Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown, for me, has been the most impressive player among all 4 of those guys and has the highest upside. There could be some hurdles in year 1 because he's a rookie, but very experienced player at Illinois, playing for the best defense in college football last year, which was a pro-style system. He had 9 tackles against the Ravens in that preseason debut on Saturday night. Loved the range, loved the physicality, loved just the aggressiveness that he had. And on a return against the Browns after a Reed Blankenship interception on Tuesday during these joint practices, he let another dude up, and I absolutely love how he plays with his hair on fire. At number 4, I think the Eagles could have 70-plus sacks once again. And a couple of weeks ago, I was like, man, that number is really difficult to duplicate because those 70 sacks last year, 15 more than the second best team in the Kansas City Chiefs, the most for an NFL team in the regular season, going all the way back to the mid-1980s when those Chicago Bears defenses were really good. But when you have a defensive line that's as talented and as deep as Philadelphia's is, they're going to be able to rotate guys in and out of that lineup to keep them fresh, and the opposing offensive line doesn't have the same luxury. They could wear down the offensive line. Eagles' defensive line could stay fresh. Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith also operating off that edge. Very difficult to contain. Speed elements like that, but also Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and the whole host of players that Howie Roseman has been able to stack up on this Eagles roster. Number 5, I think it might take a month for this Eagles offense to get going. At the start of training camp, they were really good. Jalen Hurts was on fire. His connection with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, as well as Dallas Goedert, was unstoppable. And Hurts hadn't thrown an interception through like the first week and a half, 2 weeks of training camp. The offense has hit a little bit of a lull, and it's become a little bit stagnant. They've struggled a little bit in the joint practices against the Cleveland Browns. With the new offensive coordinator, it's kind of difficult to adjust to a new play caller. And let's be real, I think the Eagles are going to miss Shane Steichen a little bit. I like Brian Johnson, but Shane Steichen helped Justin Herbert have a record-breaking rookie season. We saw the development that took place with Jalen Hurts. And week 1 against the New England Patriots, this brings up point number 6. This game worries me a little bit. The talk out of Foxborough is that this Patriots defense could be really, really good. And you have Bill Belichick, who always looks for a weakness to exploit. And he's going up against a first-time offensive play caller in Brian Johnson. You might give the edge to Bill Belichick, and the Patriots fans are going to be fired up because they're honoring Tom Brady on opening day. So that matchup, I think Philadelphia is the better team than New England. But weird stuff happens on week 1. And I think that game is going to be a knock-em-out, drag-em-out type of brawl. Some Black Ninja with this one. The addition of Elliott to the Patriots, does that concern you since he knows our team? Ezekiel Elliott, yeah, the Eagles are going to be taking on Ezekiel Elliott. It doesn't really concern me all that much, but he has always played really well against Philadelphia. I appreciate that. Number 7, I think Swift and Gainwell can be special. The third down pickup by DeAndre Swift basically showed you everything that you were looking forward to seeing from the Philadelphia product, who went to Georgia, went to St. Joe's Prep. That's where he played his high school ball. You know, he takes the carry. He starts off here, right? Nowhere to go. There's a defender here on his hip. He's able to shake him out of his shoes, bounce it out to the left, get out to that sideline, and then finish the run on a 3rd and long by lowering his shoulder. The physicality, speed, explosive blend to his game and his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, as he led all running backs in yards per touch last year, allows him to be a good scheme fit in this offense. But Kenny Gainwell was one of the best running backs in the playoffs last year. That's a good 1-2 punch, and I like Philadelphia's running back room as a whole. At number 8, I think Jalen Hurts is the perfect face for Jordan Brand. And he signed that endorsement deal, made it official on Monday, Tuesday's practice. He's out at the NovaCare complex rocking these 1980s Jordans with the black, white, and red. That's what Jordan used to wear, those Nikes when he first signed that deal with Nike way back in the day. And I say Hurts is the perfect face for Jordan Brand because he's not a choker like Dak Prescott. He's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott, who's also endorsed by Jordan Brand. Kind of joking, not really, F Dallas. But Jalen Hurts, ultimate leader, respected by his teammates. He has that Jordan type of mentality, Mamba-like mentality, where, you know, he's second in MVP voting last year. He makes it to a Super Bowl. But the picture on his phone, that's his backdrop, is the one him walking off the field with Chiefs color confetti falling. He signs that big contract. Next thing you know, he's in the lab, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., first one at the facility, last one to leave. This guy is always striving for greatness, but the character he has, the leadership qualities that he has, him being the face of this franchise, he's a great face for Jordan Brand. Number 9, how is Nick Sirianni still this underrated? Year 1, in a rebuild, he helps the Eagles make it to the playoffs. Nobody was expecting Philadelphia in 2021 to make the playoffs, and they started off so slow. They were a pass-heavy team. Nick Sirianni was the one calling the plays. What does a coach have to do when his team's struggling? Make the necessary adjustments. He did. He turned them into a run-heavy offense. They ended up being a great running team, but also he relinquished his play-calling duties. He gave those duties to Shane Steichen, and it clearly worked for 2 years ago and last year. He looked himself in the mirror and realized, I'm at my best when I can oversee everything instead of having to call plays. That's what good coaches do. And then at number 10, I think A.J. Brown could go off once again. The synergy between him and Hurts throughout camp has been really strong. I love his ball skills. There was a video from Monday's practice against the Browns where he just made a back shoulder ball look so easy. And if you remember, and we've talked about this obviously a couple of times on the show, he was drafted in the Major League Baseball draft. He used to play outfield. His ability to track fly balls has translated to him being able to track footballs really well and seamlessly. The touchdown that Hurts threw to him in the Super Bowl, he had to adjust his body. He had to adjust his route midair, and he made that look easy. The couple of touchdowns that he had against the Pittsburgh Steelers, going up for those 50-50 balls, being able to come down with some of those plays, but the explosive element to his game where he can break tackles and pick up yards after the catch. He's a special player in this league and a top 5 wide receiver, no doubt. If you're going to join us for our watch party, Eagles, Browns, Thursday Night Football, coverage starting an hour before kickoff, give me a real one, real John, down below in the comment section, because once again, game day is here. Nick Sirianni hasn't said yet, as of Tuesday, if the starters are going to play or not. I think they need to get a little bit of run because it's been a little bit concerning how the Eagles' offense has been so choppy. Either way, game day. Can't wait for it. If you want to bet on this game, no better sportsbook to do it than with our sportsbook partner, BetUS, offering a 125% deposit bonus. You plug in that link down below, chatsports.com/EaglesBet. Promo code Eagles125. You get that bonus. You put in $100, you get $125 back. $225 to game with. No other sportsbook is offering that. And the betting odds for Thursday Night Football, the over-under is set at 37.5. Rarely in the regular season will you see a number this low, but when backups are playing, points are hard to come by. Philadelphia, home favorites at 3.5. Nate Phillips-Williams, what sneaky trade do you see Howie making before the season starts? I'm not convinced that this linebacking crew is going to be the linebacking crew for week 1. I wouldn't be surprised if he calls the Ravens for Patrick Queen. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to pick up a linebacker there. If he tries to get another good safety next to Reed Blankenship. If Sidney Brown continues to emerge, that's a cost-controlled asset over the next 4 years. They could just roll with him. But safety, linebacker, punter is a big problem too. I know some people overshadow special teams. I would sign Matt Araiza. I think special teams truly matter. It cost them in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't rule that out either. And punters also hold the ball for Jake Elliott. His lone miss was with the guy he's not familiar with having hold for him, Ty Zentner, on Saturday night. Brandon Ford, one of our real ones. What's good, Brody? Good to hear from you. Promote McKee to second string. Mariota is a liability. It's not going to happen yet. But by the end of the season, would not surprise me if Tanner McKee is the second-string quarterback. I can't wait. Legitimately, I love football. I can't wait to see him play on Thursday night. Elijah Stovall with the $20 donation. 1 game in, do you feel comfortable with Britton Covey as the choice as return man? Is there a better option out there? I'm not sure. I know Greg Ward can return. He's had a really good training camp. Does he crack this roster? He gives you a little bit more speed. Covey didn't fumble the ball last year. That's good. But looks slow and looks small in his NFL career so far. Kylie Caperton tunes into a lot of our shows. Do you think that they are playing Ian and Hurts on Thursday? Nick Sirianni hasn't said yet as of this recording on Tuesday, so we're not sure. I hope that Tanner McKee plays a lot because watching Ian Book, it's a tall task. Millie315, what's good, Brody? Are you surprised Nolan Smith hasn't popped on film more? Does he just need some more opportunities? Such a limited workload for him against the Ravens on Saturday. By all accounts, he's had a great training camp, so that's good. And he did have a quarterback pressure in limited snaps on Saturday night against the Ravens. It was actually a really good play where he lined up against the left tackle, a little bit of a bull rush. A lot of people think of him as that speed guy off the edge, but he won with power on that play. So not panicking yet. The Riding the Bench podcast, I'll have to give it a listen. You feel if Sidney Brown starts, will he be as dynamic in pass coverage as he is against the run? He was pretty good in pass coverage with Illinois last year and pretty good against the run. I like the player a lot. I loved it when the Eagles took him. I just don't know if you can coach aggressiveness. You can't teach that in a player. He already has it. And that's why I think Philadelphia fans are going to love him. And that's why in watching the film on Sunday morning after I woke up, a little bit banged up after the watch party, I looked at some of the plays that he was making and the range that he had. The 4.4 speed was on display, but I love, and he had this at Illinois. This is why he had, strips, fumbles forced, fumbles recovered, interceptions. He's an instinctual player that plays with really good feel and can diagnose plays. And I had said this in the lead up to that Ravens game. That might be a player who plays better in a game situation than in practice because of those reasons that I talked about, where the game feel is just intrinsically there for Sidney Brown. Predict the score, Thursday Night Football, watch parties are back, Cleveland Browns, Philadelphia Eagles? Let us know down in the comments section, and hope to see you for our watch party.